Higgins, O'Connell, and Anderson will officiate. We're ready to go. The first of two tonight in the Midwest Regional. And let's get it started. Let's get another step closer to the Final Four. As Houston controls the tap, it comes back to Sasser and then to Shed.
Jimmy, screw them a little. Let him in by the Hurricanes.
Here's the point for Houston.
Shoots
Setting up Sasser. Off the mark with his opening shot. Ball on the floor, picked up by Wong.
Got a collective rebound against this outstanding offensive rebounding team in Houston.
Here's Wong. He's a scorer, but he's short with that shot, and Mark pulls it away for the Cougars.
And that's how Miami plays. They want to get up and down, shoot the ball quickly, and get some shots before this defense gets set.
A lot of ball screens, a lot of slips. Expect this kid, Walker, to have an outstanding game. He makes that, he's dynamite.
He's back to the rim with that one, and it's pulled down by Poplar.
Pack off the ball screens, penetrate, get a piece of the lane. This kid will love it on here.
Driving in, and he's short with the shot. He was off balance when he took it.
He didn't have his feet under him. Maybe the ankle a little bit too.
Yep. Now they work it over to Roberts, who can be a force, a powerful force down low. Lost it. Scrapes the floor for the rebound. The loose ball, and it's a tie-up. That means it's Miami basketball.
And Raph, this Miami team, although small, they can play defense. They like to swarm the post right here. Great defense. Norshad getting that hand in there. And Juwan Roberts diving on the floor. But rebounding is a key for Miami. They have to keep Houston one of the best on the offensive glass, off the glass.
I like that 5 out on occasion. Right now they high post with O'Meara. A dribble drive team, and Miller's one of those guys in jack of all trades. Passes it, dribbles, finds people, and they can finish.
It's Miller going outside, Poplar, and nobody can hit a shot here in the opening minute and a half. Houston brings it back up to Sasser. What a second half he had against Auburn when they came back from 10 down to win by 17.
And speaking of offense, you remember Mark's game?
It was the best of his career. Now Houston takes a shot from the corner, and they've got a three with Sasser. The first team All-America with the first basket of the game, and it's ruled a 2.
The big thing about that, it opens up driving lanes too. We can knock down those deep jumpers. Nice trap.
We'll double up.
You got to cut. Nice. Ooh, a little late on the rotation.
Able to somehow save it. Under 4 to shoot. Poplar has to take it, and back of the rim again. Tapped around, and the rebound belongs to O'Meara.
Oh, what an offensive rebounder he is.
With the 3, and Miami has its first bucket.
And what I love about O'Meara, he gets the offensive rebound and quickly finds the shooters on the perimeter. So dangerous on the glass.
O'Meara with 14 rebounds in the first win of the tournament against Drake, and then 17 boards. And that pass sails away from Shed, trying to find Roberts.
And he's not oversized either. He just gets some extra possessions, and Pack, the leader of the Pack, the ability to dribble drive and also get the puppies organized, that little extra pass. And once again, Miller provides the lift.
Pack, who averaged 13 a game this season, bringing it up for the Hurricanes.
Is that wide open ability to turn the corner. You got to contain, or they make the deep shots. A great driver in Wong.
Wong has Shed on him, who's the Defensive Player of the Year in his conference. And there's Wong over Shed, and he's got a 3.
And he's just an incredible shot maker. And looks like he was fouled.
Shed, I think Shed on the closeout, maybe.
Shed right there.
Wow, a chance for the rare 4-point play.
He's so dynamic and explosive right here. Catches the ball, a little fake. One dribble, escape dribble into his 3-point shot. I didn't see a foul from that angle. And Wong's so dangerous because he can shoot the 3, but he can also get off the bounce to the rim.
Last 7 to Miami.
That is a little high post set that they like to run. Walker, the mid post where he is just so difficult to guard. Everybody's got to stay at home. He's a good passer too.
Ain't nothing there for him. Shed penetrates and kicks. It's Mark with Wong on him. Mark. Again, Walker thought about it, spins out of it, sets up Mark from the corner. That's a Houston 3.
And he was hitting that shot yesterday in practice, but Miami, once again, any dribble penetration, they pack the lane. Houston's going to have to knock down jump shots in this game.
Wong now comes around a shallow screen, comes back out. So O'Meara fighting Roberts, back of the rim, tapped out to Shed.
Oh, yes, he's strong at the rim. One-man fast break, and he can get down the floor. I think it's a turnover. He may have kicked it out.
And off the foot of the Hurricane player. This April, watch Masters live on the CBS Sports app and streaming on Paramount Plus for coverage of featured groups, Amen Corner, and holes 15 and 16.
I left my putter
I was looking
in the
for
room.
Well,
Lost
you left your stroke there, too.
There's Mark with the jumper.
This kid, spice to his game. Great footwork in the lane as we saw him make the three, and the mid-ranger.
So after 7 unanswered by Miami, Houston comes back with 5 of its own to tie it at 7.
A little overload that they like to run.
Pass all the way across court to the corner. And Miller, what a move. He's dangerous.
He can finish. This kid goes either way, too. Can use that offhand as well. Big-time explosion to the rim.
Second team, all ACC.
Labernega just loves the way he plays. Talking about him all year.
Mark again. This is what happened in the second half in Birmingham. He caught fire against the Auburn Tigers. Didn't miss in that second half.
And you have to think that his confidence is riding high. Carrying over to this week. 2 threes and a mid-range already for Mark.
You even noticed it yesterday in practice.
I did.
Like a different player. As Wong is driving on Shed. Pull-up jumper, and Wong again hits the shot.
He is strong, too. And we know Shed is. But nice, powerful shoulders. Possesses so much in that arsenal.
Shed might be too small to guard Wong. Maybe Mark at some point might end up guarding him.
They're trying to post up Mark now on Wong. He's got a couple inches on him.
Look how Miami zones up here.
He's having a night here.
Put up by Roberts on the putback, and he missed the lay-in.
Well, that's them at their best. Got to finish.
Houston had hit 4 of its last 5 shots before 2 failures at that end, and now back comes
tough pass.
Miami on the box, and Hopper turn around, and the Hurricanes are hitting their shots.
A lot of guys play a lot of positions, don't they?
Multiple guys can go get a bucket.
Boy, the action after a little dry spell in the opening couple of minutes is certainly perked up. Shed, feed, lobs, comes up short. On the floor with it again, it's O'Meara. What a presence he is. Wong spins and fouled on the way up. He'll shoot 2 on the other side of the break. The Canes have the lead at the first break over the 1 seed, Houston. Trying to make it to the Elite 8, these two. Who will be? Now a Powerade sideline report. Here's Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks, Jim. Both teams use this week to get healthy. Marcus Sasser finally practiced in full after injuring that groin 2 weeks ago. We are told he's about 90%. Jamal Shed, Tremont Mark, both dealing with knee tendonitis, but I was told it's all about pain management. And Miami's Wooga Poplar playing through a back injury suffered against Indiana. He told me he's a little sore, but no way he's sitting this one out, Jim.
All right, Trace, we got another injury, though, and that's Pack, who got this elbow to the face. Inadvertent.
Basketball play. Would you agree?
Yep, and he's on the bench right now. Is Pack replaced by Bensley Joseph. And we got free throws coming up here for Wong.
How about him being at K-State?
Oh, we're talking about Pack.
Averaged
17 a game last year for K-State and transfers out, and his old team 1 game from the Final Four.
Well, if Marquise could learn how to make a play. What an entertaining evening. Phenomenal performance. Sharp can shoot it on the floor as well. Cheney, your guy's going to chase it.
Here's Walker. It's the jumper.
And he's the key right there. So talented, obviously great body, great skill. Knocking down that jump shot will open up driving opportunities for Walker.
Inadvertent trip.
Been 27 points scored here in the last 440. So after, again, slow start, the offense perking up as Hopper shot. That's 4th rebound for Jarris Walker.
And he can knock some shots down. Anthony Dewar on the floor, not known for his shooting. Cuts well, drives it.
There's Mark cutting to the basket.
Like some contact there on that drive by Mark, but
a little replace, Grant.
No question, just right there. A little screen by Sasser, one dribble pull up. Oozing with talent, sometimes can hide and not get involved. Needs to be involved here tonight.
Would you blame the guards? I mean, occasionally these guards are so good.
It's true.
There's a foul this time. And it's on Wooga Poplar. And Houston will inbound. And now a sub comes in for Miami. It's Beverly taking the floor. Sharp's also out there for Houston, freshman from Tampa. Mark wanting to challenge. Now the man just into the game. Hard shot. Well defended. Chase after it. And it's going back this way.
Good piece of officiating here. Mentioned Beverly on the floor. Kid who can drive it. Kick threes, which they're very good at. A nice piece of officiating.
Yep, clearly off the hands of Mark. Houston. And here comes Miami with Joseph now handling the ball. Pack remains on that bench after taking the shot to the nose.
Well, they do a nice job using that curl screen.
Miller has already beaten that way one time.
This kid's so good making threes. That's why he can go to the goal.
Woo, what a move that was. And Anthony Walker slams it home.
How about Joseph, though? So many things that kid can do. Got some speed. Little burn in his game.
Houston operating without Shed on the floor right now. And that's something he does exceptionally well, is draw the defender into him on that three-point shot. So he's going to shoot three.
That ripper, look at that pause and hesitate. A little blow by. A big time, fine, why not? Big fella looming large at the rim. Walker.
And look at Joseph, loving the fact that he was able to set up his teammate. We got three at the line coming up for Sasser.
Looks like Shed's coming in, Jim, too. They'll probably he and Sasser, they both have a foul.
Create the ultimate dynamic duo pairing. A Dave single with a Coke, zero sugar. Take a taste, only a Wendy's. 2 for 2, one more to come for Sasser. And look who's back, Nijel Pack. And we were talking about the former Kansas State player, and Wong sits.
They are deep in that guard spot.
They really are.
And they complement one another as well.
What's interesting is Houston likes to trap that ball screen with the playmaking ability and ball handling on Miami. They got to get back out of those double teams.
The rotation, too,
yeah.
right?
Miami's so good at attacking those rotations off the bounce.
Well, they're so well scouted. The guys slipping screens.
Two come over to defend on Miller. They work it around with Pack. Giving it up for the three. And the three is short by Joseph.
And Cheney runs right to the rim. That's his job. Screen. Offensive rebound.
Sasser slipped as he was driving.
Nice gas.
And that is Miller.
And forcing turnovers and scoring off turnovers.
I know it's early in the evening, but it is Miller time so far. He's done some great things.
It's never early for you.
They never put a clock on that I've known of.
Don't restrict my game, please.
Sasser again trying to draw the foul, and it's not there that time. He's making an appeal. It's not going to work at the other end. Joseph tries another one. And it's a short trip as Reggie Cheney comes into the game and grabs a rebound.
Well, they are loose. Get it up the floor. Take advantage of opportunities.
Houston has not made a shot in the paint.
Nice slip.
Until right now. That one drops for Cheney. Comes in, gets a board, gets a bucket. He wanted a foul too, but no call.
Pretty good deployment though. Raising everybody. Nice slip. You can shoot it.
All Houston underneath. Sasser working around Walker's body. And Sharp feeds it to the blocks. Back outside with it for Shed's three. And Houston, a lot of the shooting coming from the outside for them tonight.
They can hit you early here, Miami. You got to be set. On the double, you got to dive a little. Look at that zone up in the lane.
Open look here for a three. Shed has another rebound. That was Beverly who launched it. Sasser, look at this distance. Oh my goodness.
I think that was a message. I'm here. Big time stick.
the all-time three-point shooter in Houston history, with his 275th three of his career, put the Cougars up by 1. Pack. 2 players on him outside. Miami trying to set something up late in the clock. It's Pack with the 3. Oh, was that pretty?
And both guards here knocking down from deep, showing their range. Pack was a volume shooter at Kansas State, but has adjusted nicely here in Miami with this team.
Little horn set and the pop for Walker. I like him in that mid-post or elbow, don't you?
He heard you.
Right here. He's that big white body.
Beats it outside. Sharp freshman, yes.
He's not afraid of the moment at all. Hit some big shots in the first round in Birmingham. Right now, both teams answering against stellar defense.
Our 6th lead change already.
I think a little too loosey-goosey for Houston, though, Grant.
Could be right. I think you're right. It's not their game.
Miller trying to go baseline on Walker. He's not blocked by Walker, who had 6 blocks in the game against Auburn.
Oh, that is next level right there. And speaking of next level, Marcus Sasser, he's healthy. He's had treatment all week, and he's leading his team. Cougars up 1.
Welcome back to Kansas City. Coach, we talked pregame about their offense. Defensively, what more do you want to see from your team?
We got to get in the right coverage calls. They banged that last 3. We wanted it down the side pick and roll. Just got to get more organized. I mean, they have so many weapons, but there's always nerves and jitters. We're playing 4 freshmen. You know, it's a Sweet 16 game, so we just got to calm them down.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
It's been a trying March for Coach Sampson, 67-year-old coach who lost his twin sister 2 weeks ago today. His sister Karen passed away, lost a battle with cancer, and he's tried to stay in the moment. He's done that exceptionally well, trying to privately grieve and at the same time keep his team motivated and inspired and trying to make a run back to the home city. The host city of the Final Four is Houston this year. Took over a program that certainly needed a lot of love and attention, and it's changed back to its old ways. That's stolen. The turnover committed by Shed.
Nice hands. Would you say a moribund program?
It was.
Yeah.
No, it gone.
They just needed somebody to invest some money.
They've gone years without an NCAA tournament bid until Tommy Penders brought one in 2010. Here's Pack.
He's so good.
Man, you can shoot it, man.
Pump
He
fake.
has something to see. That's 2 from that same spot on the floor.
He really does a nice job baiting people and then sidestepping and drilling it.
And right now, too many turnovers for Houston. Kelvin Sampson not happy. 4 turnovers, leading to 9 points for the Hurricanes.
Francis on the floor. A lot of things happen when he's on the floor.
Yep, here he is.
Nice poke away.
Almost, again, another turnover. Sharp sees an opening. And pulled away with Houston players in the area. He is something.
Poke it back, Jim.
Wow, look at Miami. Their 3rd dunk already. And it's all been Anthony Walker and Jordan Miller doing that damage.
Did he get down the floor? I mean,
Well, Raph, if you're
giant steps.
going to send 3 or 4 guys to the offensive glass of your Houston, if you don't secure the offensive rebound, you got to get back because this team too fast in the open court.
Snap to Shed from the far side, way long. And
An outlet again.
Another outlet to Pack. And he's able to maneuver around Shed and Mark. And Kelvin Sampson says, we got to take a timeout. This is not Houston basketball. Miami 9 points in the last 2 minutes to take a 6-point lead. All right, Greg, almost the same score here as you see Alabama and San Diego State with Creighton and Princeton behind it tonight in Louisville, as the 2 number 1 seeds are both trailing at the moment, the only 2 that are left. How about the Big Ten and the SEC had 16 teams in the tournament and only 1 remains. Alabama down 5 at halftime. Top 2 seeds, Alabama and Houston, the ones, Texas at 2, which will be on this floor later tonight.
Expect the unexpected.
Yes.
This year.
How about this tournament?
It's a wild. Incredible what these kids have been able to do. But let's see if they get some balance now. Houston not doing a good job getting back. As Grant said, maybe just put 2 on the glass. Open look. Why not?
That's
Give it her.
Walker with the 3.
Gotta give him touches.
The second bucket of the game, 5 points, 5 rebounds. So we're inside 7 minutes. Houston gives up about 57 points a game. Right now, Miami on pace well above that. It's kind of what Auburn did to Houston last week in the first half. And the Tigers put up 41.
They've been doubling that box. And with help here again. Big play by Roberts.
Miami wanted a foul call, wasn't there. Sasser is stuck, goes outside to Sharp. And Houston comes out of the timeout with back-to-back threes to tie it at 29.
And Jim, that's why he's a first-team All-American. Sasser baiting the defense and finding the open Sharp. Wow.
That little double and a back screen to get him here to the box. He has not had any touches or been able to chase on the glass. There he goes. Nice help. Oh,
what a tough shot going to his left.
And he lost the ball, but what a hustle play by Wong.
Wong now leading. Well, he's got 10. Pack has 11. 6 of 10 Houston buckets have been threes.
Looks like Omer is limping a little bit, grimacing.
The ankle, maybe?
Maybe the ankle from the ACC tournament a few weeks ago.
And really late in the shot clock, just to settle here.
That was Walker trying to get back-to-back threes, and it's lost by Miami.
We have a timeout on the floor.
There's Sasser with the assist as the sharpshooter freshman from Tampa, Sharp, hits it for Houston.
Welcome back, Coach. A little run there since that last time out, but still, how have you been able to play your style of play against this defense so far?
Well, I think that's the whole key. We got to execute our game plan better than they execute their game plan. So far, it's a great battle.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks.
Coach Larrañaga got a 700th win earlier this season against his alma mater, Providence College. You talk about legends that have influenced his career. Played for Jack Curran and Archbishop Malloy, one of his mentors, and then Dave Gavitt, the great Dave Gavitt at Providence. And he was done in 71 as their 5th all-time scorer when he was finished 2 years before Providence went to the Final Four with Ernie D and Marvin Barnes. And then, of course, Terry Holland, a longtime assistant to Coach Holland, former chair of this tournament, who just passed away in recent months and is sorely missed by all of us. There's Sasser with the shot out of the timeout.
There's Jack. Great guy. Look at Wong attack. I mean, they're good before the attempt.
Foul's going to be on Sharp of Houston.
And Raph, we saw in that last little interview there with Tracy and Coach Larrañaga, 12-2 point paint opportunities for Miami. That's what they do. They average 35 points a game in the paint because they have multiple guys who can get to the paint off the bounce.
Inbounds to Wong. And that pulled down by Mark as he skied just above Huppler.
Not going to get an easy basket, but you got into your stuff a little quicker if you're Houston in particular.
Here's Sharp from way out. High bounce off the back. Picked up by Walker, and he bounces it off the Hurricanes to keep a Houston possession. Yellow Jackets, the Emmy-nominated phenomenon about a girls' soccer team that survives a plane crash in the 90s. And the wild and mysterious aftermath is back for a second season. New episode streaming now on Showtime.
Houston shooting a lot of three-pointers thus far, 13 attempts. They got to get off the bounce and into the paint against this defense.
Nice deep off here, and they call a foul, and they have packed the paint raft against this Houston team.
Well, to your point, Liz, as Bride was telling me at their meeting, they said pack the paint against this Houston team. Miller doing a great job. And unfortunately, after their meeting, I believe last night, the 12 players got on the elevator, and they were stuck for 22 minutes on the elevator. And Jim finally got through to them and said, "Everybody okay?" He said, "Coach, we're packing the paint." He is some character.
Not what he had in mind.
No, not at all.
But maybe it helped build even a little more team chemistry. Who knows? But here's Walker at the line to shoot two. By the way, Houston's Jamal Shedd is on the bench.
Walker complained about his elbow even after the free throw, Jim.
I don't know if it was a funny bone or something on that, or
didn't affect the first free throw.
No.
Going to say, though, Shedd was on the bench, and he's wearing a back brace for a few minutes, and he just took it off. He was watching on.
But Jim, it never affects you on the offensive end. Only affects you on defense.
There it is.
No question. You get a touch of that ball, you feel a little bit different.
He's still rubbing that elbow on his right arm.
This is that 5-out set now, very tough to contain, and he's got some range. Oh, bring a range
from the logo.
Well, he can pack the pack. Big time drill by the little guy.
Sharp now over to Sasser. Mark. And Wong closed in on him in a hurry.
I see him get a screen. Boy, he's settling.
There's a long three, and Mark able to keep him alive. Comes back out. Sharp has spent a lot of time on the floor. Hit a couple of buckets from outside.
Nice double.
They just chase Mark, and they take it away from him, and they've got up ahead. O'Meara, and a foul's on Houston. Sharp, the basket counts.
He's in the restraining area.
How about that for O'Meara? 250, great hands, getting out in transition, showing his versatility. Right now, Hurricanes in control on both ends in this first half.
Game summary in Miami with 14 points in the paint. Talked about packing in the paint. Raft, they've held Houston to only a bucket by Reggie Chaney from the inside. Transition scoring, we've seen that too for the Hurricanes.
Well, packing the paint leads to turnovers, and getting out in transition, one of the best. They run, unlike when you played, Raft.
They sprint, and how about this vision too? You can't blame the elevator man for that. Defense, obviously. But they are a loose team, push it up and down and take advantage of the dribble drives.
Okay, let's go over to Tracy quickly.
Jim, Jamal Shed back in the game, but he sat for a while on the bench with a heating pad on his back. I spoke with Houston athletic trainer John Houston, who told me his back is bothering him, so it is certainly something to watch.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. It's been a tough start for him as he hasn't scored. 4 assists and a couple of turnovers. Trying to warm up now as he's on the floor with his backcourt mates, Mark and Marcus Sasser.
And Jim Walker's been rubbing that elbow, and I can be late. That is very painful some evenings. But this is where they need him, down here, instead of settling for the 3.
Got to keep his dribble alive.
Yeah. This is what I like him in too. The little ball screen, the elbow touch. Nice pass.
There's Roberts.
There you
Walker.
go. Pretty solid play, high-low.
That one set up in the timeout. We're at 3.5 to go. 4-point lead by the Canes. First 2-point basket by Houston in over 7 minutes. That one right there is just their second one in the paint. As Pack, who has 14, is working on Shed. Escapes him, and the floater off the back of the rim. Saved by Sasser. No, it's off the hands of Mark.
Somebody's got to come meet him in that
They
situation.
all stood. But the one thing about playing Miami, they stretch your defense, though. And this is just a gorgeous look. Great presentation, big fella. Got to finish those opportunities.
He's just oozing with talent, Walker. Yeah. Fun to watch.
He is. Double drag up high. They step and cut as well. Haven't been able to do it early with this solid D.
Side shot, yes! Now he's shown us a couple of dunks. Now Walker hits it from 3.
That's only his 3rd, Jim, in 23 attempts.
That's something.
And look at this jump
ball stolen. Marcus Sasser goes back to get it. Houston's got numbers if they want it. Shed realizes it.
Not a good, that's a foul. Good call. Walker with the reach in. Tell you, Poplar is so good jumping passing lanes, Jim.
Coming up, AT&T at the half. First half analysis. An update on San Diego State and Alabama as the Tide has come back from 5 down at halftime to take a 2-point lead. 14 minutes to go. Plus the latest NCAA tournament news coming up on AT&T at the half. That was the first foul on Walker.
And you got to be so careful against this defense. Miami just swarms the ball. Active hands, deflection, steals.
Anticipate the pass, too. There's that elbow entry they like. They got away from it on the... Well, they really harassed that ball screen, Miami.
Miami with its largest lead at 7. As Walker knows that. No call on that shot. It was blocked. And Walker now is only 1 out of 5 from outside.
Long was ready for that step back. Couldn't get his balance. They are just punishing with the dribble drive.
Long thought about step back, but no, not there.
Perfect trap there if they want it.
Try it again. Out to Pack. That's his spot. Oh, that would have been the third one from that spot on the floor.
It looked good from here.
You got to run down those missed threes, though.
Another three off the mark and is pulled away by Walker. His 7th rebound.
Again, trapped on the ball screen.
Taking Sasser out of it by trapping him.
And again, Walker on that box. Get it to him. Don't settle. Attack.
Behind the back he goes. Sets up Sasser. He hits the three.
He commands so much attention, Walker, and once again showing that behind the back pass, creating that opportunity for Sasser. Big time shot.
Here's Sasser 11 for the game.
And O'Meara with the back screen to the block. They haven't given him a touch in there.
Papa takes it to the paint. Dishes O'Meara. Blocked by Walker.
What anticipation. What a load out there this kid is. Affectionately.
Sasser. Back over to Mark. Houston with 50 seconds to go and a half.
A little bit of a zone look, but I think he's playing gap defense man-to-man.
Boxes and elbows,
Yeah.
outside.
Oh, this is
Arsenault on the floor, and he gets the pass over to Sasser. 4 to shoot. Another three, not this time. And swept away by O'Meara. And 4-second differential on the clocks as Miami sets up half court with the lead at 4.
We were saying it reminds you of Wes Unseld on there, right? And goodness, the rebound, his ability to run the floor, that physique. Goodness, don't arm wrestle him, guys. You're going to lose dinner. But how about this ability to attack and find some people? But defense, that's Houston's mantra. Got to keep it up.
Sets up now for this possession with just 20 seconds to go, having committed only 1 turnover in the first half.
Got a lot of guys that can make plays, handle the ball, great decision making. Obviously, they're a big guy. North Chad is more than capable, not just a rebounder, but he's a basketball player. So hard to force this team into turnovers.
How about his outlet earlier in the game? And he loved baseball as a kid. You can see it.
Exactly.
Here's Pack. He's led him in scoring in this first half.
A little 2-3 look, Jim. Excuse me.
5 to shoot for Pack. Working on a freshman Arsenault defensively as Wong tries to turn corner on the switch, and Arsenault committed the foul right on the end of the shot clock.
He bit.
And Sampson wants a travel call instead.
They are clever, though. I mean, so talented. Body search a little bit. I think it's the right call, too. He felt just, 0.3 of a second before.
But that's why he's the ACC Player of the Year. So smart, so savvy.
Now, we had him last year, remember? What a talented kid.
What a fun team last year, too.
Yeah.
Team that made it through the first week of the tournament last year by knocking off the number 2 seed Auburn. That sent 2 players to the first round of the NBA. Jabari Smith and Walker Kessler. And Wong at Miami beat them by about 20 to advance to the regional and went all the way to the Elite 8 before losing to the eventual national champion Kansas.
And Jordan Miller did a great job guarding and locking down Jabari Smith.
Right. Pretty tough task as well. They were checking the time on that last release. But they are a tough guard. It takes away the rotations of Houston with the ability to break a guy. If you don't contain the perimeter of Miami, you are in a dreadful position.
Big foul call, as you said, with just 0.4 of a second on the shot clock, and needs a chance to hit some free throws.
Extend the floor a little bit and make them use clock.
Just 4.4 seconds for Houston.
Watch the ball getting back into the hands of Sasser.
It's Mark, who hit a midcourt shot, wants to beat Miami. He's going to go past that point. Puts up the 3, and it's short. He's arguing for a foul call, and again, he's not going to get it.
The other points of emphasis, points off turnovers, points in the paint, and second chance points. He said those are all inexcusable.
All right, Trace, here we go in Kansas City. As Mark takes it back out to Shed. There he goes, driving in and going back outside with it. Walker stutter step and puts it up. Way off the mark with that. O'Meara pulls it away from Miami.
And Raph, I know Houston didn't score, but maybe one of their best sets offensively to start the second half. Got the ball moving around, shifting the defense.
Oh, shift out.
O'Meara takes it in for the basket.
How about the speed? We've seen him defensively moving those pins, but this one going left, just a straight line drive, a little dig, a little late, big fella.
Those are some big pins too.
Oh goodness.
Foul on Roberts, three-point play for the former Sun Belt Player of the Year when he was at Arkansas State just last year. North Chad O'Meara having a big night here for the Canes.
He could hurt your dad when he played with that body, right?
No question.
Mark didn't make a basket the last 15 minutes of the first half after hitting his first 3 shots in the opening 5.
Jim, this is where Houston has to toughen it up a little bit. This is their game. Don't allow penetration. And make sure you rebound any long ones. Nice.
Post up. Another open lane and gives it up. And another basket. First 5 of the half go to Miami, and a timeout called by Houston.
And Miller knows how to get free. He knows the game, does all the little things to make Miami a big-time factor.
And only 1 turnover. Houston brings in Reggie Chaney, takes out Jawan Roberts. There's Shed driving in and gets his first points of the night.
And that's what he can do. He's a guy that can get downhill, get to the paint, score for himself or others. Shed's got to suck it up here and play big time for his team.
He is their leader, their engine.
Now they lifted Chaney too to give that wide open empty side drive.
Long feeds it. O'Meara underneath and missed the chippy. Ball on the floor, tapped out and back to O'Meara. Loose ball's going to Miami, and the rebound this time boxed out by Walker.
I tell you, Walker had a great set defensively. Caused that miss earlier, then a big time snatch at the 10.
Here's Shed driving again. Feeds it underneath off the foot of Miami. Let's go to Trace.
Jim, Kelvin Sampson with 4 things he asked of his team in that timeout: energy, attitude, better shots, and he said be patient. He said be aggressive on the ball, though, play aggressive defense, and make sure to guard.
This is not the kind of defense you normally see out of a Houston team that's one of the top defensive squads statistically in the country. Shed gets the shot to go, and the foul.
He took advantage of the size, too, had Pack on him. Took him strong to the rim. This kid's got some attitude. Talking about leaving it all out there. Sore back, sore leg. Able to convert at the rim with a chance for 3.
And it's interesting, this team, they've struggled in first halves during this tournament. Last week in Birmingham, not great in the first half, but they right the ship in the second half. Do they have enough in the tank here? I know it's early in the second half. This Houston team, a lot of grit, a lot of toughness, and a lot of fight, and it starts with Shed.
It's interesting, a little change now. Pack going out. I think maybe for defensive reasons. Joseph on the floor. The dribble drive awakened the thought process.
So Joseph brings it up against Shed, who has the last 5 points in the game.
And Jim, they lift everybody. That's why it's so tough to guard.
Long ran into O'Meara and took quite a hit.
O'Meara's comfortable out there on the perimeter with his playmaking skills.
There's Long way outside on the logo and now moving around trying to find a seam, and he does. Loops it up. That's nowhere close, and pulled down by Chaney.
Again, Walker was the guy initially that caused that orange shot.
Mark Long got position to cut off any drive to the basket.
It's tough to get inside points. It's got to be off the dribble drive and find.
There's Shed. Oh, and it comes off the hands of Walker. Somehow saved in the corner by Mark. Shot clock still down to 7. Mark puts it up, and he scores.
And Raph, right now, Houston not settling. Too many three-pointers in that first half. They're getting point touches on every offensive possession here.
7-0 run by the Cougars from 11 down to 4.
And Walker's been magnificent on this end of the floor. Rebounding.
Shed tried to cut off baseline. Pass in the paint, and the basket drops.
I don't know how O'Meara caught that.
His shoulder. How about his shoulders, though? You cannot get across that wide body. Big time delivery.
Shed driving now, penetrating again, off the glass, trying to do it all.
Well, he ran into Chaney, actually. He's still able to finish. Kid's got some ticker.
Now, Tracy talked about The coach urging them to step it up with the energy, and you've seen it since that timeout.
Nice
There's a
help
steal
again,
forced
Walker.
by Mark and into the hands of Walker. Back to Sasser. The three is short. Counts it out.
Nobody back.
Miami looking around. Go to Wong. Wong lofts the shot, and that's off. Underneath, though, put back, yes, for Miller.
Always in the right spot. Just a great feel for this game.
I think Sasser felt like he was going to hit that three and trim this to one in a hurry, but he was short with the shot, and right back came Miami. Sasser again.
Brush screen, flare screen.
Working baseline.
Nice
Dish, Cheney, 2 free throws.
Really nice play. Cheney's there giving some good minutes. The problem is not a great free throw shooter.
Got the under 16 here. Lead swelled to 11 at one time. Now it's 6 here in Kansas City in the Sweet 16 to go tomorrow. Here in Kansas City, Houston and Memphis State and Clyde the Glide Drexler with one of the most famous dunks in Phi Slamma Jamma history. Leaping over Andre Turner. Cougars won the game, advanced to the Elite Eight, and then defeated Villanova on their way to the Final Four in Albuquerque. That was 40 years ago tomorrow in Kansas City.
How do you evaluate the number of dunks with that program? I mean, how could you say?
And then, of course, they had the Dunkathon against Louisville in the national semifinals, and NC State won the championship.
Banker, Cheney not known for 40% from that line. You got to be ready. They're laughing. Walker's laughing on the line.
Bank shot and a swish. Oh, almost a swish.
A couple horse shots.
Houston this half, by the way, 4 field goals. All have come in the paint after only having 2 baskets on the inside in the entire first half. That's all Shed.
Got to keep Joseph in front of you. Joseph, one of those guys that cuts well. Little curl screen.
10 to shoot. Wong.
Much better D. This
Great rotation.
Again, who's there?
Houston able to come away with it somehow, and it's Cheney who secures it.
He did a great job sliding in, negating.
Here's Shed with a 3. And Cheney able to get the offensive board in the reset outside. That was dangerous for a minute. Back out to Mark. He wants to go in the paint.
Got fouled.
I thought he got fouled. A little late whistle, but the right one.
And Miami, they get into you on those jump shots on the pull-up there. But, Mark, that's where you made a living last week against Auburn in the paint.
Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Scan the QR code now to download. Coming off his career high, 26. As his teammate Jamal Shed said after that game, I had a courtside seat to the Tremont Mark show. And that's what he put on in the second half. Here's the foul, the one he wanted at the end of the first half. He didn't get, but he got the call this time with a piece of the arm. One more for Mark.
Yeah, and what Calvin's done, you had mentioned about playing smaller would be to their fat. Right now, Cheney, they come in with Roberts, but they had a nice little run, giving Cheney a blow. And they got 4 guys on the perimeter who can ring the bell.
They're attacking. They're attacking off the bounce, getting to the paint, and it's carrying over on the defensive end. They're in a more aggressive attack mode defensively as well.
Quick timeout. Jim Larinaga not happy with the progression, but I think it's Houston's defense has stepped up a little better.
We are just a minute or so away, it looks like, from Alabama, the overall #1 seed, going down to San Diego State, which would leave Houston as the only #1 seed still alive, and they're down in this game in the second half.
Incredible. I mean, that team loaded Alabama. That speaks to the tournament.
And even there, great pressure on the inbounds. Houston toughen it up. I think they got to get the 5 out going again. Dribble drive. Nobody's cutting.
To the corner, it's open. And Pack got it. He's got his 5th of the game.
He's unbelievable.
Raft, he passed up an open shot for a more difficult shot. Oh, this kid is special.
To prove his point, he does have some range. That's going to set up his drive game now. Little pin down and curl for Sasser. Nice
Attacking in and trying to save it. No one there. Lost control of it in a turnover for Nigel now. That's for him. the most threes he's hit in a game since January in a game against Virginia Tech when he had 5 against them. He's got 5 of 7 from the outside.
And Grant, you had said earlier about deflections and hands. Just a case in point right there.
Oh, you thought right there on that play, Shed had turned the corner. Good hands.
Nice going up ahead. Shed looks, and he's able to score. By the way, I don't want to say that game's over. Alabama's now 7 with 1:14 to go, but San Diego State giving the Tide all kinds of fits. As now back comes Pack.
Beverly with that turnover way out the floor. Here's the guy, the catalyst to me.
Poplar puts it up, and it bounces a little too strong.
Look at that rebound.
And again, no.
Wow.
Carmier, amazing on the inside.
This carves out so much space.
A basket by Shed a moment ago. Their first points off
Nice.
turnover. This game, and it's off the mark. Sasser put it up too strong.
You don't see guys do that, push that dribble ahead like that.
Can he do it for a 6th time? Yes! Oh, man, a 3-pack.
Pack the attack. Goodness.
Well, that was a well-placed timeout by Larinaga.
So much for the nose difficulty in that first half.
8-2 run since Coach L took the timeout.
Picked up that dribble. Give it back to him. Repost. Let's turn and go.
He's going to take the jumper and hit it.
And that sets up maybe a little action off the dribble.
You're going to have to guard Pack when he covers half court, and you cannot help weak side.
Oh, how about another one?
It's just a
That's 7 threes. And Houston's looking around in frustration at one another as to who's supposed to guard him.
Well, they want to blitz that, and they weren't attentive. Seldom do you ever see that.
All of a sudden, with Pack doing all of this, it's a 9-point game.
Too far out now. Just don't settle. Attack. There you go.
And again,
He's right there, though.
put it back, and he missed the chippy.
You're not going to get it away from him.
Pierce says, I got it.
Oh, a tackle there. Shed in frustration. Poplar.
O'Meara with 12 rebounds in this game to go with 10 points, but 3 threes by the Pac-Man.
He's so good they named the game after him.
And we're back in Kansas City. The Miami women have pulled off a couple of great upsets in this tournament, including a win today. In the second round, the Hurricanes, a 9-seed, beat number 1 seed Indiana. Destiny Harden with the game winner with 4 seconds left. And earlier today, the Canes knocked off the 4-seed Villanova to advance to the Elite Eight, the first Elite Eight in the program history. How about that? What a day for Miami already. And here it's the Hurricanes up 9 as Nijel Pack hit 3 of his trays. 3 of his 7 have come in the last 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
And this team can score in bunches. They've won 9 games when trailing at the second half, so not intimidated at all, these Hurricanes.
And Cheney and Roberts on the floor. A much better handler of the ball screen they're accustomed to.
Here's Wong driving in.
Nice find.
Kicks it back out. How about this? He hits, but and he's got an injured player in midcourt.
Is that the ankle again, maybe?
He was going for the loose ball there, and I think he might have stepped on somebody's foot.
Miller hit a 3 during all of this, by the way.
Goodness, he shoots at 35%, but that ability to get in there, that's what they do. They break it down with the bounce.
Well, Sasser right here trying to get through this screen.
Oh, he turned it on his
that
own.
ankle, yeah. And it's the same ankle that he hurt in the semifinals against Duke, just 60 seconds into that game in the semifinals ACC tournament.
That's that lead now actually at 12, and that's the biggest of the game. Houston had it down to 2, and all of a sudden Pack just opened it up. Now there's another 3 added by Miller.
Nice dribble drive, set him up on the opposite. Nobody covered. Weak side.
Hard, off balance.
Everything is tough. and contested.
And rebounded by the Canes. Wong
Strong to the rim.
takes it to the opposite side, and he draws the foul.
Said it best, strong to the rim. He was seeking the contact there. Got a little bump on Mark, drawing that foul, and then able to use the rim as a shield to go underneath. But look, just a little bump.
Boy, it just cushions that bump and undeterred.
And first foul on Mark puts Wong on the line. He's already had 3 NCAA tournament games in which he has scored at least 20 points, including last time out with his 27 against the Hoosiers. That gives him 13 tonight, including 6 of 6 at the line.
84%. Player of the year in the ACC.
And Raft, I've been impressed. This smaller Miami team, the physicality they play with on both ends. Their guards get after you. They initiate contact, not afraid. They're doing it against a #1 seed Cougar ball club.
Haven't had a missed free throw in this game between the two teams. 19 of 19.
And Shed, now a guy who can get to the rim, settled by Sharp here.
Houston just one and done at this end.
The attack mode of all the perimeter people sets up their ability to make some threes.
Snaps the pass across court, and that's going to be on Sasser. Let's go over to Tracy.
Jim, we saw Norchad Omier twist that same ankle he hurt in the ACC tournament. He was looked at briefly by the athletic trainer. He moved it around. He said, I can move it. I'm good. I can go back in.
He continues to sit, but that's going to be an area of concern if they go on and finish this one off, because you got the quick turnaround to the Sunday final. The regional final, that is.
Lice up when they use both sides of the floor to get
Another three!
Hoppler, and he must be on this team. Booga, why not?
They're 11 for 21 from behind the arc.
Spreads you out magnificently.
And they're doing this against a top 3 defense in Houston.
52%. Cheney looks around and doesn't want the shot on the inside, goes to Sharp. And again, Houston with just one outside shot, and Miami with the rebound.
I think they got to go to the rim, get to the foul line, both settle deep, get themselves back in, and it starts on this end for Houston.
There's a reach in on Sharp. Call on Sharp. 11-0 run, and it's getting away from the Cougars.
And you think about that timeout, Jim Larinaga, the tide was turning. Houston was finding its way, getting into the paint, attacking them on defense. And since then, it's been all Miami Pack, collective effort on both ends for the Hurricanes.
A lot of wins. 7:23 coming in tonight.
That time they missed. They have been on fire from the outside. Desperate times for Houston with 9 and change to go.
That's what you have to do. They're really having some trouble. They are strong too, Grant. That dribble drive.
Oh, physical, yeah.
Another nickel dimer here.
On Pack.
Yep.
Well, the thing is, it's a big deficit now for Houston. You can't try to get it all back at once. Still a lot of basketball left in this game, but you got to get stops, and you got to be efficient on this end and be strong with the ball against this defense.
Walker replaces Mark.
Just give him that modest post up.
That was just the 4th foul in Miami, so Houston inbounds underneath. Step back corner 3, slides off the rim. Walker wants it on the inside, tapped up and in by Cheney.
And that's their game. Again, a good play by Walker. Tight to the rim.
This is the end of the floor where Miami has made the difference tonight against Houston that usually clamps down on others. They've been so efficient with shots like that.
Look at the strength to discard and have your balance. Knock that one.
Wong now with 16 on the game. 4 Hurricanes in double figs. And Alabama is eliminated. They go out losing by 7. There's Sasser scores and is fouled.
And they're not settling. They've got to attack and get back in it. The deep deficit, tough on Houston because they're not accustomed to not having control of the flow of the game.
Omier comes back to the floor after the 3rd whistle on Pack. Walker goes out.
And Raph, that's what they have to do. I mean, they've had success getting the ball to the paint off the bounce. They got away from it a little bit there, but Houston not a great long-distance shooting team. They're at their best, but they're attacking and getting points in the paint.
Sasser's first points of the second half and trims it to still 14-point margin with 8:16 to go. As you see Beverly coming back.
I was just going to say, your good news for Houston. Pack is taking a rest.
Yeah.
You think about that run they were on. Wong was very quiet. Got so many guys that can go get a bucket. Now it seems like it's Wong's turn.
They finally handled this. Didn't handle it well earlier in the half.
Driving in is Miller.
He's very clever when he gets in the lane. Ooh, and they got to go the other way.
Yeah, got Sharp thrown to the ground. A little contact.
Here, big fella.
Got the under 8 though. Miami can feel it. 7:53 to take all the ones off the board if they can beat Houston, that currently is the last one standing, but barely. What a win by Coach Dutcher and the Aztecs. And just consider this, if you look at the left side of the bracket, and they've got Creighton and Princeton coming up next on that floor in Louisville. One of these 5 teams will be in the championship game. San Diego State, Creighton, Princeton, Florida Atlantic, or Kansas State. One of the 5 will be playing for the title on April 3rd.
We knew it was going to be wild, but I don't think we expected it to be this.
This is madness at its peak in terms of the unpredictable times of this basketball festival.
You know who I think of when San Diego State does well? Steve Fisher.
Yep.
Built that program where Brian is the assistant. He's taken it to another level.
Sasser
Good attack after the timeout.
has to dish it inside.
Nice block.
And it's clean.
Just up with Miller. Just always in the right spot.
Back on the floor. Swings it outside. Pulled down by Wong. And there's a foul called on Shad.
They used the whole floor.
Hey, show your love for your favorite NCAA team with officially licensed fan gear. For the best selection of team apparel and accessories, head to ncaa.com/shop. Oh, congratulations to all the Cinderella makers, because that's what gives this tournament the lifeblood that makes it so popular as Houston ties it up. No timeout called first by Miami. And now AT&T 5G takes us above the rim for one of the best plays of the night.
A lot of dunks in transition, finding open man. This team, that's how they play. They're loose, they're confident, they're athletic, and they're led by that man who has embraced this style of play and has his team believing it.
Why do you take all the dunks? I don't understand. What do you know about that level?
The question is, what do you know?
That's what I want to know, too. Here's Pack, giving it up with 5 to shoot. And Miller to Wong. He sees it. He's in a jam. Steps to the basket. And it's slapped around and picked up by Shed.
I think going the other way. No? Yep.
Yeah.
It's called on Omir.
He's tough to hide, by the way. So visible.
We'll give Shed credit trying to block out Omir right there and drawing a foul on him as well.
There's so many nice things. You know, he's a Charles Barkley type with talent.
Doesn't have the explosion that Charles has.
He's a great player. Tongue in cheek with him.
Oh, man. Maybe a better golf swing than Charles. Could be.
Yeah, that swing's come a long way. You can't knock it anymore. Here's Shed at the line for a 1-and-1 for Houston. That's long.
And that's what you got to make it up there. Oh, Wong may have taken a little bit of a hit.
That's the first missed free throw in the game for either side. Houston now 11 out of 12.
He got hit.
On that rebound, looked like Shed reached in and may have made some contact with his eye.
The strength of these guys as well is it's imposing and obviously impressive. There's just that little scrape.
Well, they've had to play that way, undersized throughout the season in the ACC conference, and there's a toughness about this group.
Got away, packed it from Shed, but from behind he commits another foul for him. That's his fourth.
I'm sorry, Jim. I just love the open style that they've embraced. I mean, they just take advantage of what they have, their individual talent.
Pack with a 1-1 at this end for the Hurricanes.
Kelvin Sampson will probably have to get shed out of the game with 4 fouls.
Yep, taking him out. He had 2 fouls just in a 12-second span right there, so climbed up to 4 in a hurry. 1-1 for Pack. Sophomore from Indianapolis, and again by way of Kansas State. 17 points scored just a year ago, and there are the Wildcats playing tomorrow in the Garden for the right to go to the Final Four, and a matchup against Florida Atlantic. It's the second one. 24 for Pack tonight.
Dribble driver, Walker time.
How about a 3? Way outside. Just Pack at the other end. Ball in his hands.
That's not going to get you home. This is a match for Juan, huh? Look at the blow by, and Walker has to give it up, concede. But again, the open middle, the spread, the ability to put it on the deck, and they get really low as they approach the defender.
Well, because of that pace and being the cross match, right? Walker not usually guarding him, but great awareness, isolation, the best in the ACC, one of the best in college basketball in terms of one-on-one play.
Misses the first of 2. Hey, we saw this last year. The same kind of performance by Miami, and they ended up pulling away and winning by 18 or 19 against Auburn in the tournament last year. Again, made it all the way to the Elite 8. Houston almost turns it over. In fact, does. They've just had yet another lapse here tonight as Miami's taken them out of their game.
Not typical at all whatsoever. Just a little sloppy. Oh, goodness. Not a good pass and very tough.
No, it's very similar, isn't it, what we saw?
Yep.
Hurricanes last year?
Very, very similar. And you know what was interesting talking to Jim Larinaga? He lets the talent level dictate how he's going to run his offense. Takes advantage of their individual abilities. Take him out. He's killing them.
Yeah, he actually is human. He can miss. Sharp, meanwhile, drives in and lays it in for Houston, but it's still 74-60. Houston is this half has not made a 3, 0 for 7 from outside.
Now, this is where they got to tighten up and get away from shooting the threes, really. He loves that little snake dribble off the big.
Well, Miller will take one. Pulled down by Sharp.
I think in Miami, they got to stay aggressive and continue to try to attack off the bounce where they've had great success.
Early drag screen.
Ooh. Way outside, and the freshman Short pulled down by Wong.
Got to go at the rim, like these guys do. Poplar, a good three-point shooter. Look at the follow.
And he then follows up, bumping bodies with Walker, and Walker to the other end for Houston.
40% threes. That's what makes them so tough. Turn the corner.
Well, there's 3 possessions in a row. Miami shooting a 3 and not able to score. And Walker gets fouled. The clock stops. He goes to the free throw line. If he can make these free throws, maybe you set up some sort of pressure at some point, right? It's still within striking distance, but you gotta. It's tough. You can't press this team because they have so many ball handlers.
They can exploit.
Walker with a 1-and-1. Again, freshman of the year in the American. He told us last week when we met with the team in Birmingham that it's surreal playing in the tournament. Always watching it growing up and filling out a bracket every year as a kid, and now being on the floor and participating in it.
And you know what jumped out at our meetings last week too, Jim? All the kids made one visit.
One visit.
Say all the starters. It was just amazing.
It speaks to the culture there in Houston, what Sampson has done. Talk about family. That was the reoccurring theme.
It really was. You could say that. Sasser, one visit. Shed, one visit. Mark, one visit. Roberts, one visit. They came, they saw, they stayed. Here's Wong.
Ormir with one body that's screening everybody.
Under 5 to go.
Here he comes. Vincent. Nice help.
Mark almost took it from him. But he's going to show off the jump shot, and it bounces in off the glass, the rim, the glass again, and it's his night.
Not a bad shooter for a baseball player, huh? Little kiss.
Sasser. Line Shed. Again, haven't hit a three this half. That one gets the same kind of bounce that Omier had at the other end, but that's a three.
They're staying in touch right here. You got to make good judgments on this end. You don't have to rush if you don't have a good one. Nice pass again. Look who made the pass. Just love that kid.
That's the thing we talked about. You pressure them, they make you pay on the other end.
Miller's so talented.
And Shad gets the basket.
Trying to extend the pressure a little bit.
You got to be smart. Miami will attack that pressure for layups and dunks.
So many handlers, right?
I know.
Shed with 14 points, all coming in the second half.
Let's see if they run and jump on him. Look at that Euro. Nothing there.
They still come out with it, though. And they get it to Poplar, who's easily into the paint for a layup.
This kid's got some talent as well. Dribble drive, that's his ability to make some threes. He picks up charges, does it all.
They put up 80 on Houston. More than 20 points a game above what Houston normally gives up.
They give up 56, nice pump.
And Walker unable to finish it. Mark, three-pointer, tapped out, but it right into the arms of Poplar with 3:10 to go.
Tell him just to use some clock. Well, not a good pass there.
Up ahead.
Should let it go. Look at, you know what? I think he got all ball.
And then he got it out of bounds. He was looking to throw it to someone and said, I know I can't do that.
Right here, guys. Coulda, shoulda, woulda with the drive. And Miami feeling good. In control. Late in the second.
Here is your game summary and the 80 put up by Miami. It's the first time all season that any team scored 80 against the Cougars. We have 2:58 to go in this game. There was a foul call, by the way, on that Walker drive to the basket. It was a fourth called on Pack. But what's at stake here with the Houston loss? It'd be the first Elite Eight in tournament history since they went to the seeds in 1979 without a number one in the last eight. The last eight standing. That's what's at stake. But it's going to take a comeback here for the ages for that scenario not to play out as Walker hits the first of two. Let's go over to Trace.
Kelvin Sampson during that last timeout, he said run and jump on defense. We can't let them get the easy baskets. You need to make the right play. And then his final words in the huddle, don't quit playing, stay together, make your March moment right here.
And as Grant mentioned, though, they make you pay occasionally if you over-gamble.
Driving in. That spins out, but he is fouled by Chaney on the shot.
That kid is tough.
He's tough. He is tough. Both ends of the floor. Great one-on-one player, defender, rebounder.
And Jim Larrañaga all year was talking about him.
Yeah, he said he's the most underrated player in America. That's what Jim thought about him.
And once again, you run and jump against this team. They can handle the pressure, and they attack the rim and make you pay.
Second team All-ACC, though, so he got some recognition. 19 points in the win against Indiana.
Came over from George Mason, which, interestingly enough, was taken to the Final Four. I'm sure you called that game.
Yeah, back in 06. Absolutely. Coach Larrañaga taking his 11th seeded team to Indianapolis.
I was just getting out of college then.
Coach L, 53 wins the last 2 years. Program record over a 2-year span. And Miller able to hit both free throws.
And they extend the floor just a little bit. This will be a controlled pressure, though. We're going to churn them up. We're going to reach in.
Going to be 2 now. Houston bonus the rest of the way.
And Miller thought he got it clean.
Larrañaga not happy right there. Stopping the clock once again. Getting the free throw opportunity and a chance to set up some type of pressure for the Cougars.
Try to force some turnovers, but Miami has been so efficient tonight. 1 turnover committed in the first half, 4 in the second half, but 5 against Houston is considered remarkable on most nights. 2 free throws coming for Shed.
They only average 11 turnovers, Miami, in evening. With the high octane offense they have, that's pretty admirable.
They also don't foul a lot. I mean, obviously fouling here right now, but they play tough, play good defense. Don't turn the ball over, as you said, and don't foul.
This is key, though, defensively. Churn it up.
Could be Wong is going to bring it up.
Here's a team that a little run and jump here.
Right back, they give it to Pack. And he's able to draw the foul.
He is the leader of the pack.
He is tonight, there's no question.
The Shangri-Las, the leader of the pack. Remember that song at all? It's a little early.
Might even been before my time, okay?
Leader of the pack. He is tough, though. No wonder he was such a prized portal recruit.
Bonus down at this end as well, so 2 coming up for Nijel. Boy, he's putting up some numbers.
The Pack reminds me a lot of Miami's point guard last year, Charlie Moore.
Oh, yeah.
Dynamic, long-range shooter.
I think he is more under control, though.
No, I agree.
Would you agree?
But just similar in terms
no
of
question. They can
confident
points, making big plays.
2.5. Jump stop, back outside Walker. That's off. And pulled down again by Miami. They're doing a great job boxing out at that end. Not giving Houston second chances, something they usually feast on.
And that is their detriment, though. The threes living with them and perishing.
Long.
Look at this Euro. He did it earlier. Came up empty. Not that time.
Went right through the Houston defense.
He went the right way, not the wrong way.
Here is the pass to Walker and back around to Mark for the 3. No, again, a lot of them short tonight for Houston.
Fatigue maybe, and the way Mark started the game tonight, I thought he was going to have one of those special evenings, as we witnessed last week.
Yeah, he picked up kind of right where he left off the first 5 minutes. He hit 3 buckets, 2 of them from outside, and had 8 points. But there's a review underway here about who touched it last. It looks like it might be off of O'Meara here, but just 1:49 to go.
How about the job O'Meara has done here on the glass, the physicality, running that offense, top of the key. He's doing the little things for his team.
Another double-double.
Another double-double. Double-double machine.
He is something else. Whatever you need, Coach. Third team All-ACC.
And it's interesting. This team, they won the ACC along with Virginia. And they were number 5 seed.
I thought they were totally underseeded. You know, they were the last ACC team standing, though. They're the only one that made it into the Sweet 16. But you go through that conference and you draw the 1 seed in your conference tournament. You lose in the semifinals to a Duke team that was hot at the time. And I thought they would be at least 1 line higher.
And
they're showing it in the tournament.
Well, O'Meara got hurt in that game, too. Could have been a different outcome if he stayed healthy. Dangerous team.
Going to be Houston basketball after the review.
The Sun Belt Player of the Year in his prior stop.
And making his country very proud. Nicaragua is O'Meara's home country. And here's a foul called on Poplar.
Jim, the first scholarship, right? Division I basketball, we're told.
From Nicaragua. Look what he's done. Remember last year, Baycott from North Carolina started putting up all these crazy double figures, double doubles, big time rebounding numbers, Mark to shoot 2. And that's what he's doing right now. You got O'Meara with 14, 17, and then 12 rebounds tonight. Felt like he had a lot more than that to this point.
It's interesting, at the end of the year, Baycott had ankle problems last year, right?
Oh, yeah. Rolled it in the Final Four, too, if you remember.
Yep.
You would bring up that run from last year.
Pack spinning away from the trouble, and he slipped, got the ball somehow to the corner. And over to Wong.
This is what they do. They spread you out, vulnerable to a drive and a give. Oh, yeah, a pass. You see Miller say, pleading. I was wide open.
Here's a look at the Capital One rewarding performance. Where else can you go?
It's got to be that man right there, Nijel Pack. He came here for these moments. Big time performance. Team was on the ropes a little bit there to start the second half. Hit some big time shots. Got the momentum back. And now his team can cruise here down the stretch.
He doesn't need much room, and he's got really quick feet, too, to get him organized.
You think about this, Miami led by Nigel, 86 points and 30 field goals. 11 of them from 3, which is 1 off their tournament record. This is the most points they've ever scored in school history in an NCAA tournament game. And again, only 5 turnovers.
You know anything about Miami, sort of my era? Little young Rick
Barry, of course. Back over to Walker. Take it and hit it. And a timeout called by Houston with just 1:18 to go. Well, it's been Nigel's night. And barring a miracle, the tournament will be without a 1 seed the rest of the way. Well, the Miami Hurricane fans are dancing today already. Coach Katie Meyer and the women's team has made it to the Elite 8. And now Coach Jim Larrañaga and his bunch are 78 seconds away from also being in the Elite 8.
Jimmy is loose and his team plays loose. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, very loose. Relaxed, confidence. He's really empowers his guys to go out and be themselves. Great trust. Of course, it helps when you have talent.
You trust more talented players, obviously. And just the relaxed atmosphere that he presents. And Jimmy, you mentioned Jack Curran, his old coach. He's the one that actually got him started, right? Going down to Davidson and talking.
Well, and not only that, but Dave Gavitt had a big hand on making some phone calls too. The great Dave Gavitt, whose son Dan, of course, runs basketball for the NCAA in this tournament. And well, he had the grace of having some real giants. We mentioned Terry Holland too. Big part of his coaching path and journey. Here's another inside play and a dunk.
Great deployment, unselfish. I think he coached at Virginia when Ralph was there.
No, he was there for their 2 Final Four teams. One with Ralph and one the year after Ralph. 81 and 84 on Holland's staff. Of course, took his own team in 06 to the Final Four. And a tie up the arrow here is going to go right back to Miami. Well, he's got some grandsons that had some basketball action that weren't going to be able to miss out on some important games of their own, but I know how proud he is of his 4 grandchildren, and I think he's ready to already sign way out in advance some letters of commitment to John or Henry or James.
Better if he wants to keep a happy house.
Yeah, that'll keep him around for a while. He said they're all good players, right?
They're all good. I can't believe they can all fill it up, that's for sure. And tonight, Miami, they saw this game cut to just 2 at 14:30 to go. Then Larrañaga called the timeout. And that's then when Pack just regained control. That was really the pivotal moment of this night tonight. Pack hit those 3 threes in just a couple of minutes.
And deflating threes. I think it took a lot of life out of Houston as they were making a comeback themselves. But this team, tough, gritty, and relaxed.
Well, this Houston team, they had the whole city riding on their shoulders and hoping that they would be able to play in their hometown for a national championship. They were #1 in the nation for 7 total weeks at 3 different times this year. It's heartbreak, no question, for the Houston Cougar Nation and the entire city. But tonight belongs to Miami. The Hurricanes take out the 1 seed and advance to the Elite 8 for the 2nd straight year.
Pretty impressive. A display on both ends of the floor.